Hey, good morning, Popsy Fixer here. We're back here at the house we're working on. Got another fun-filled day of drywall touch-ups and sanding. It's going to be a little dusty fun, but we'll get it all done.
Popsy Fix It.
All right, this one we're going to come over, say 6.5. This one we're going to come over, say 4. Okay. Down, we'll call it 33.5. Down 22 3/4. Where we can get to these easy. We're gonna mark it. Mark it. Let's go ahead and cut it while we're right here. This hole stall, spin that down, lock that in, spin our board the other way, mark it, move the oak slip finger. Okay, got drywall screws, old full empty. There's our impact. Turn that over here. Now, if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can measure your studs. Call them like 4 1/4, 20 1/4, 4 1/4, 20 1/4. That one's on the joint. Take your pencil, and what I normally do is I just do a quick dotted line just to get as a visual reference where our studs are. There we go. Work our valves in. There we go. Okay. Let's get a couple screws, and that one needs to be trimmed just a touch. So we're gonna put one here in the field. Raise that up. There we go. Will you hand me that keyhole saw right here? This one. There we go. That relax the pipe. Get a couple screws in this. Put a couple screws in this corner. Don't you all be sneaking and eating dinner while you're out.
No, I'll be right back in about 3 hours. It's enough time for you to mud everything, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
The next day.
Hey, alright, Popsy Fix It here. We're back on scene today, and we're gonna start doing some drywall finishing. We'll get everything taped in. It's gonna have to dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come in, do a quick scraping and a second coat of mud. We're gonna go out here in the garage and get our tools together for drywall. One of the primary tools of a drywall project is a good stainless pan. Then your primary knife for taping is your 6-inch knife. You want something that's going to have a flexible blade, and you want to make sure it's straight, no nicks or chips. That's going to keep everything flowing smoothly. Okay. And for taping, these are the tools you need. That's what you need to tape out with drywall mud. Then you can tape out with your mesh tape, paper tape, get your mud run. Then after that, you start introducing your 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch knives and all that. But this is the primary starter if you're just doing small projects. Now if you're running big projects, you'll have banjos and bazookas. Those are the cool kid toys. Popsy ain't a cool kid. We're just doing some little stuff as we go. Paper tape is one of those primary tapes you use. It's got a crease in it. Fold it, put it in your corner. And then one secret is when you're flat taping to a wall, you always want the crease side there. Fold it flat, so as it sinks into the mud, it concaves and it'll catch mud and hide better that way. And then the other tape we need is fiber tape. Get it in a roll, and it's a sticky back mesh tape. We're just gonna kind of set this over here. There's minimal stuff here to work on. A couple little spots would be out of our way and centrally located. We're gonna put our tile down. We're gonna get our bucket. Now if you were doing a big job, you'd have one of them mud mixers, a big drill paddle mixer on it, and you just mix the whole bucket at a time. I would not have that with me, and I don't have a potato masher either. So I'm just gonna have to hand a little bit as I get it out. Sometimes you need to add a little water in, sometimes you don't. Just kind of, it's a lot of it's about feels. You can always learn the science of drywall finishing and painting and stuff like that. You can learn that off YouTube. What you can't learn off YouTube is the art. Now, I'm by no means an artist. I'm more of a scientist when it comes to it. I have done it for a while, but I also haven't done it for a while. Like, been quite a few years since I've done any kind of drywall finishing of any amount to speak of. So, now I would rather refill my pan frequently than carry a real heavy pan. I'm just going to get 2 or 3 scoops here. You want your drywall mud to be about the consistency of mashed potatoes. So give it a whip. Pretty good, pretty creamy. All right, well, let's just start right here on this flat seam first. So you can take it, turn your knife, butter in. You just want to kind of push and pull, and as you roll your knife into it, let that butter coat. We'll go ahead and put some mud in there, kind of like that. It's just going to back up that tape. Get your paper. It rolls off the reel with the indent to you, so you can literally just stick this up there. Get it right above the joint, and it's kind of like the fiber tape. You can take your knife and just pop it. Then you can take your corner of your mud pan and hold that down, and then you want to set your tape. Pull it kind of flat. Now this one's a pretty big joint, so we're going to have to put a second layer up there, but we can use this tape to kind of back it. So we're going to put some more mud right there. Get a little piece of tape. Put that there, like that.
The next day.
This was the last bathroom we did. Yeah. A little moist, nowhere near dry enough to sand, but we can definitely go ahead and start skimming over with our next coat of mud. Ooh, I feel wet. All right, let's just do the old door trick here. One thing we want to do is we kind of want to take our knife and just lightly scrape off any highs. Yeah, that's going to be a lot better view. Try to stay out of your way as much as I can, but I'm going to have to work around each other. Go ahead and get a little mud on your knife. Just come in and just lay some on there. Remember, the flatter the knife is to the wall, the more mud you leave behind. And get it on that corner. Okay. You want to pull right up in that center. Then we'll come over here and we'll drive that corner together. Push on the corner, try to lay that down smooth. You can flip over that in. Do the same on the bottom. One more run over the top. Got a little trash in our it's getting to be more of the starting to arc part of it. Okay. There's that one. See if we can get you in there with this. We gotta let the other half of that inside corner dry. Let me get you over here where you can see. So the inside corner, if you look over here, we can only run a little bit on the right side, because if you run on the left side, then you're gonna track up your mud so bad. Okie dokie, we're back. Let's see about cleaning up our zip bead a little bit. Come into this corner. Okay. See if we can't fill up the pock marks there a little bit. There we go. Most of the bottom edge is what's most important. I'm trying to keep your knife edge clean. Let's go ahead and, if you pay attention, I'm hoping you can see it on the back of the blade. You can see how I keep my two fingers. Let me drive the knife. You can put pressure where you want it so that you can drive the mud where you need it. Makes it a lot better. We're gonna come in here, put us a little mud up there at the top. That's just gonna let us get that feather in a little better. Okay. Now, there's a little bit of mud down here in that corner. And we just massacred the other side. That's why it's hard to run both sides of a corner at the same time. Your tool gets in there and makes a mess. And then the only thing you can almost do at that point is just to let it dry and chip and sand it out.
The next day.
Hey, all right. First things we gotta do is we gotta clean up the rough edges on our drywall and get it somewhat smoothed out, ready for the next coat. We're not ready to really do much sanding. Maybe a little spot sanding here or there in the corner. But if you look real close, you can see like them ridges and stuff. I'm gonna try to do this. Just take your knife and you're just gonna kind of play off the highs. I'm gonna set you back here and let you kind of see the action. Let you kind of see the action there. You're just gonna get in there, give it a quick spray, knock off the big chunks and chunks. Let you straighten everything down kind of flat. Run your hand over it, starting to feel pretty smooth. You don't want this side feels higher than this side, so we're not gonna do much build up here, mostly on the new stuff because it's sunk in a little lower than the old stuff. Yeah, the new stuff is quite a bit lower. Probably gonna go ahead and run like a 10 on it to try to feather it out some. And then we'll have to run the other side of our corner. Now that you might want to go ahead and take a sanding sponge too and touch up a little bit. I mean, you can take your sanding sponge and just lightly brush it all. If you watch your pros that do it all day, every day, they don't really sand between each coat. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, as long as you don't mind sanding, you really can't mess up drywall too much. But in your corners, you're gonna have to kind of grind them down and get them touched up. So you're gonna take your 6-inch knife, you're gonna do just like you did on that side of the joint. You're gonna take, I kind of like to pull my blade. I'm not the best at corners. So I put a little mud in the corner, pull it out, And on an 8-foot corner, you wouldn't necessarily do it this way, but I'm only doing like 3 feet, so it's a little easier. I guess if this is what you had to do to get an 8-foot corner to look good, it'd be totally worth the extra labor. But practice makes permanent. So we're just gonna put our mud there. Go ahead and wipe off these big chunkies because we're not gonna need those. Then just put your knife in there, put a little bit of pressure on your blade, pull it up clean and continuous, wipe that mud off, go in the other half, wipe off the big chunks. Okay, just walk away. Fill in, and again we gotta contend with our corner. So we'll come in here, we're gonna start just lightly in our corner, lay some mud, lay some mud, come down here, and we're only going about 1 inch or so onto that old wall. About 1 inch, 1.5 inches on the old wall. That's just to give us a little better blend. Mostly we're trying to fill in the new stuff and lessen that difference. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna drive down, come down here, we're gonna drag out, come over, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna run this outside edge. And you want to put pressure on your blade. Same thing, we're going to roll that pressure and we're just trying to wipe that edge top. We're going to come one more pass down the middle. Adjust that. Open that up. Walk away. Let that dry.
The next day.
Alright, we're back in recording. I do want to take a picture of my setup. I'm going to try to put that in there to give you all the cool footage that I do. That's very subjective. I don't know if you think it's cool. And we're in good frame. Okay, let's get busy. Wide open spaces are way easier to sand than when you're in the corner. Alright, so when you're getting you some mud together for touch-ups, or anything really, grab your mud, throw your scoops in there, 2 scoops, 10 scoops, however much you think you want. Then I take my knife, number it up a little bit, depending on what you need. You want it to be just a little runny, like that's a little thick. So you take you a little bit of water, and don't take much. Put your little splash of water in there, and mix it up again. See how much creamier and runnier that is? Go. So that's going to smear nice. Tool tip coming at you. Take a little bit of lime chalk that you use in your chalk line. Red, blue, orange, it doesn't matter the color. Red and blue is pretty customary. Then what you're going to want to do is just put a couple little dots in there of some chalk. And then you're going to mix that in there. And that's going to give you a light blue or light red or pink, whatever color you want to call it, of mud. And what that does is it just stands out on a white wall to let you know that you need to give it more attention. Sand it again, or whatever. If that's not very pink, you need a little more. But you can see how it's got a pinky hue. So we'll go ahead and start doing some touch-ups. We'll go in here in this kitchen and we'll start doing it over here where we were at. And again, go to the trusty fingertips. Use them. You can put it on just a little bit heavy and then just grind it off with your sanding sponge later, and it'll help reduce the amount of coats that you have to have. Unless you just like to run mud and got all the time in the world. You're going to take your little flashlight, super handy tool to have. Doesn't have to be super bright. It's just, you lay it on the wall, something like that, and it just highlights all the knife marks and stuff. Then you can come in here and start putting mud where you need it.